Attorney General Letitia James could move swiftly on former President Trump's bank accounts and real estate if the former president doesn't put up that massive $454 million or get a bond for the civil fraud judgment James won against him.
Trump's 30-day deadline to post a bond or deposit to block James from collecting his assets while he appeals the verdict arrives on Monday. Now, if the New York AG gets her way, Trump could lose his world-famous Trump Tower, or she could pick any of these. Look at all of them, yeah, including Mar-a-Lago, anything international, any of his golf clubs. She could choose to pick whatever she wants.
Yeah, that's right. Breaking news today on this. Potentially, she is looking at properties up in Westchester here. But joining us now to discuss, attorney and former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins, plus former senior advisor and SBA advocate for the Trump White House, Bruce LeVell. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on. Bruce, we're going to start with you here. Just your thoughts on, will Letitia James actually begin to seize his property? Now, I know her team has kind of put out statements. She doesn't want to see a fire sale, but boy, if you go on her actions leading up to this point, it seems like she really wants to bankrupt, go after the former president here. What say you?
Well, I'm hearing in Georgia, and I have to say it reminds me kind of like what happened similar in 2008 when we've had the banks that failed and some of these institutions weaponized the taxpayers' money to call loans, et cetera. I think Brother Doug knows a lot about that, what happened in Georgia. But listen, it's just like what Kevin O'Leary said on CNBC and many courageous other business people. You had a bank that testified that were made whole and said, hey, we're good, everything's fine, what's going on? And the fact that there were those disclaimers in that contract, and they're totally ignoring that. And ladies and gentlemen, Newsmax viewers, real quick, once again, if you know, this could happen to any of us.
That's right.
And this is a total miscarriage of justice on President Trump. And this could be, like Kevin O'Leary said on Shark Tank, he's like, look, what does this say to other business people? And business people, if you're watching
in
this,
New York City. Yeah, you're right.
Don't challenge the system,
right,
or we might come after you. That's what that says
exactly.
to me,
A big red flag here. Doug, want to get to this. A Donald Trump joint fundraising committee sent out a message saying, quote, keep your filthy hands off of Trump Tower, before going on to ask for donations from 1 million of his supporters to keep the former president from potentially losing his New York properties to, quote, insane radical Democrat AG Letitia James, unquote. Also, Doug, I want to bring in your legal expertise here. Wouldn't the 8th Amendment be able to protect the former president for something like this, these cruel and unusual extreme bail or bond requirements?
Well, I mean, yes, it could. I guess if you had a court that would determine this would be extreme. But again, you've got to get to that court case to do it on the appellate side of this and bring up that issue as a problem. Again, that's a whole different legal action as composed to what is actually happening here in this case. In reality, what they're doing, again, is Letitia James is furthering the cause that this is basically, as Bruce alluded to, this is an attack on Donald Trump. That's all it is. And now she's just continuing to make the case that it is about getting Donald Trump. It's not about justice. Justice is about getting something, righting a wrong. There was no wrong here, and Donald Trump is being prosecuted for it because she said she would. So, you know, the first question you ask is she probably going to go after assets? Yes. The answer would be yes. She's going to go after these assets because it fulfills her plan. So the former president is in a position right now to where he has to either find that bond, which is almost too excessive because nobody can underwrite those kind of bonds. So we'll just see how it goes from here. But it's a pretty tense time right now for the Trump campaign.
Yeah, indeed. All right, gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it there. We appreciate your insight as always. Doug Collins, Bruce LeVell, great to see you both.